Welcome back to another episode of Pale Horse and Random African podcast.
Gina Mathers died in November in Utah.
In
All right,
Utah.
so the police get there, of course, because she died. But then they were startled because they found her husband's body, Paul,
Paul.
in a chest freezer in the couple's house. So
she's dead and Paul's dead?
Yeah, so she died, and then when they go to investigate her dying of natural causes or whatever, they find her husband's body in the freezer of the house. So that's not all. The police discover a notarized letter from Paul stating that his wife was not responsible for his death.
What?
Yeah. So he was in a freezer with a notarized note saying that she was not responsible.
How does that work? You can't do
Yeah.
that. That means she's totally responsible. Was he chopped up or was he just in the freezer?
No, he's just in the freezer.
Maybe he put himself in the freezer.
He did.
What?
So investigators know that Paul died a decade ago. Been dead for a decade, bro.
Wow.
And our investigators that it's possible that monthly payments to him from vet's office, Veteran Affairs and Social Security kept coming after his death. So that's why he was in the freezer. So he died, and to keep his keep all his money, all his veteran money coming in, he actually went and got a note notarized. And they talked to the notary too. She just signed. She said, "I just filled it out. I didn't think nothing about it."
Jesus.
And he's been in this freezer for a decade.
But he did that so his wife could keep surviving?
Yeah, so his wife could keep all the money.
Well, that's a loving husband. Did he kill himself, or did he just feel like his time was coming?
No, he had cancer. He actually had a terminal disease.
Oh, so he was on his way out anyway.
Yeah, and I think he just didn't kill himself or nothing like that. He just actually died, and they put him in the freezer so she can keep the money coming in.
Oh,
and she kept him in there for a decade.
That's actually very romantic.
Yeah, but
now think about that. Like, he's the ultimate. Think about that. This dude not only was he a responsible father and husband for the duration of their marriage, but even from beyond the grave, this dude's still providing for his wife.
Okay,
that's boss. That is boss.
So
boss.
You're saying, I mean, if he had kids, so the kids know their dad's in the freezer.
I don't know.
Exactly. Like, where'd dad go? Oh, he's on trip. Yeah.
He's on trip.
Yeah, he's been on a trip for 10 years.
Maybe they took in their father's footsteps and they joined the force.
I don't know if she had any kids or not.
That's romantic.
That's so awkward that your spouse is in the freezer and you know they're in the freezer the whole time.
It probably helped her cope. She probably went down there every now and again and was like, I miss you, Paul.
Oh, come on. For a decade, you're just going out there just kissing your husband's frozen cheek.
I mean, he's super preserved, so it's like day one. It's like day one. He's not going to stink because I don't think you poop on yourself if you're frozen.
No, why would you poop? You wouldn't have no bowel movements?
I don't know. Don't dead people fart and pee? Like, dead people fart. Because it's in there. It's in there.
I don't know. Maybe when they thaw him out.
Yeah, so that's going to be a nasty thaw.
I understand it, though. But don't you think that she should have just, got the money anyways? Like, you shouldn't have to go through this to keep the money?
Just like you were talking about facts earlier with the cop stories. We don't know her circumstances or her situation. Maybe they both knew that without that money, she wouldn't amount to very much.
No, clearly she needed the money.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if you're, obviously she's older, he's terminally ill, he served his country. She should automatically get that money because he put his life on the line for the country. They should automatically take care of his family after he died.
I completely agree, but from my understanding, the veterans get crapped on. So is that not how it works? Does the wife not get it?
So if you get a check coming
in
and you die, I'm going to put you in my freezer to keep that money coming.
Yeah, put me in the freezer. Nah, man, that's just weird because
What? No, so it's okay for this guy, not okay for you.
Because we're just friends. No,
I know, but you could say, right before you die, you're moved into my extra room.
Well, right? if you're taking care of mom, then yeah, put me in the freezer.
Yeah, we'll put you in the freezer. We'll give you money to your mom.
Yeah, if you're taking care of my stuff, then yeah, put me in the freezer.
Not your stuff, your mom.
Yeah. And I mean, some of my stuff is going to get passed down.
No, it's going to be passed right to Goodwill.
Goodwill. But yeah, like I'd want to be like if that was my wife or something, and that happened, I figure like my chances are better of her not like moving on and boning someone in the house we shared if she knows I'm in the freezer.
Yeah, this lady obviously did not date. Cause you're like, don't open that freezer, whatever you do.
Yeah, whatever. So she couldn't have had house guests. Like, go get the ice cream. It's in the freezer, and then they go to the wrong freezer. Like, you cannot
you,
have house guests.
that's what you gotta do if you put me in the freezer. You gotta place my hands where I hold something, and like your house guests have to go in there, like pull it out of my hands.
Pull it out. Like, oh yeah, it's a lifelike mold. Doesn't it look real?
You could probably play it off that like nobody would believe that it's real.
No, they wouldn't. If you did it right, they wouldn't believe it. But I mean, it's still super risky because what if they take a picture? I'm like, where'd you get this done? We live in a picture-taking society. Like, I
That's
want to
true.
get one done in my Uncle Ed. And then they're
The wife,
like,
the wife could definitely put me in the freezer if I'm already dead.
yeah, you gotta go in the freezer. I think it's super romantic. That is like an epic love story. You can
Romantic,
tell
I don't know if it's romantic, but
it's romantic on his part, slightly disturbing on her part. It's romantic on his part that he had the foresight to take. It's romantic and Batman-like that he took steps that he knew would play out beyond his death to take care of his soulmate. Like he notarized a letter. He probably bought the freezer. Like he's like, all
that's
right, I'm
true.
about 300 pounds. I need an 8 by 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to slim down. I can't. I can't. We got. I can't afford a big ass freezer in here.
Yeah, so he bought the freezer. So I mean, like, just the fact that he had the foresight to take all those, he had a contingency
Yeah.
plan for his death. I think that is like romantic as hell. You can tell he's from a different generation. I can't see no
Yeah.
men right now from our generation doing that.
Just get some damn life insurance.
No, because some life insurances discriminate, and if you're old and sick already, they either won't sell to you because they're like you're gonna only have paid us $300 and we're paying you $1 million, and it's only been a year. Like that's not fair. Or they will make your rates super high. Like that's why you see some of the commercials on life insurance, and they say it doesn't matter how old you are or if you're in any medical conditions. They seem to advertise the fact that you can be old as Methuselah and knocking on death's door and still buy their life insurance. I think most life insurance want you to get them while you're young and healthy so that you will have paid almost as much to them as they're going to pay out to you. Insurance is a racket.
It is a
Insurance,
racket. It's a ripoff. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
But they said that she got about $177,000
Oh, well, good for her. So
in
it's a cold
payments.
case now because she's dead, he's dead.
Oh yeah,
It's
and then
just
he died between February '09 to March '09.
okay. So I got a question for you now. Two questions. For one, do you think that house is going to be hard to sell now since that story came out? And two, would you buy it? Because you know they're going to have to sell it cheap.
Oh, number one, no, I don't think it'd be hard to sell because you just got to get rid of the freezer.
But still, it
Uh,
happened.
and number two, it depends on what the house is like. I mean, if you can get a good, if it's a badass house, I mean, he was a veteran. Hopefully, they had a little bit of money. Hopefully,
Even
they
if
had
it's
a,
a
hopefully they had a decent house.
even if it's
Uh,
a mediocre 3 bedroom house for 70 grand because there's a
yeah,
body in the freezer for a decade, I totally buy that.
yeah, I would
Because a lot of
totally, I
people
would
aren't going to
totally
want
buy
to live there. Like his spirit hasn't moved on. Like f that. Sign me up. 70 grand for a
that. Yeah,
mediocre 3 bedroom for 70.
yeah,
That's a
man. This
Tahoe.
this guy did plan it out. I mean, he wrote the letter out
That's
in
romantic.
December of '08. Had it notarized in December of '08.
Yeah, that's super romantic.
Yeah, man, he planned it out.
He's a
Got
hell of a
took
guy.
taking care of the family, everybody.
And just the fact that he knew he was going to spend, 10 years of his corpse was going to be in that freezer. He was just cool with it.
Maybe he thought she was going to die quick.
I mean, it
Like,
doesn't matter
yeah, I
once you're
might be in there
dead.
a month. Who knows?
That might be in there. I bet he won't. I bet if you could find a way to ask him, he doesn't regret anything.
I guarantee he does not
That's
because
romantic as hell.
she was taken care of until she passed away. So
Yeah,
I mean
exactly.
that's the way to do it.
That as ultimate husband right there.